Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this new episode of the Wayne State Wack Pack on WAYN Radio. Today, we're back with a very special guest. It's Mrs. Beth Woodring. How you doing, Beth?
Doing good. Thank you for having me on.
I'm very excited to have you on. This is going to be a good episode. Like we were talking about before we went live, this is going to be our first female guest, so that's a good milestone for the show.
Glad to be the first. I'm a trailblazer.
Yes, exactly. You're the first. So hopefully now you don't have to set the standard too high, because I do want to have more girls on later. So I guess let's just get right into it. So as you guys know, the show, or I mean, maybe you won't know, this is your first time listening. The show is, we're just trying to put a backstory behind the faces that you see on the Wayne State campus. So, we'll just get to know you and see where it goes.
All right.
So let's start off with something simple. So what's your major? Because you are a student, right?
Yes, I am a student. I'm a freshman, and I'm actually working on 2 degrees right now.
Okay.
I'm getting a bachelor's of English and a bachelor's of secondary education.
Wow, okay. So, are you trying to be like an English teacher?
Yeah, probably like AP upper high school English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. That's prestigious. What's that like? Do they specifically train you to be a teacher, or is it just kind of like high English concepts?
So they do for the secondary education major. What you do is you mostly take like teaching classes, and then you have some classes that are just like English because you have to have like a concentration. Okay. But for the English major, it's all just high-level English. And then I also have to have a minor because it's the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, so that's Spanish because I'm trying to get a teachable minor too. That's
okay. I'm struggling in Spanish right now, man. Which Spanish class are you in?
I'm not taking any right now. I'm going to have to start off with 1010 soon, though, probably next semester, just because you have to take a 1010 and a 1020 to be in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences.
Dang. See, I'm a media arts and studies major, and so I have a foreign language credit requirement, and I'm in 1020 right now, and
dude.
Oh my gosh, I'm struggling, man. I think my problem was it was in between. I think my best advice is to do it back to back. So like,
oh yeah,
because I did 1010 and then summer break, and then I'm coming back now and doing 1020, and it's so bad. No. It doesn't help that I didn't take Spanish in high school at all, so I'm just struggling.
If I do 1010 next semester, I'm definitely gonna try and like get a summer class, because if I take that break, it's over.
That's it. Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, see, at least you had the thought to do that. Like, I was just like, oh, it's Spanish. I don't care. Well, it's like, ooh, I don't know.
It disappears.
Yeah.
Straight up.
It's crazy. And, it's kind of helpful because, like, the more you get into it, it can kind of come back in the same way.
Yeah.
But, man, once it's gone, it's like, shoo, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I'm curious about this, like, being an English major. So, like, when I think of, like, English class in, like, high school, because I haven't taken an English class since, like, well, I have, like, some transfer credits from community college, but that was mainly just, like, I don't know, just, like, knowing how to use a semicolon, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of stuff do they teach you?
So it's mostly literary analysis, which means that it's a lot of reading and then trying to, like, discern, purpose, what it really means, what it's meant to mean, what people can take away from it, and then writing about the reading and understanding sort of where it fits into the world. So I like it a lot, actually.
It's good that you like it because, that kind of stuff, that seems a little, like, the first thing that popped in my head was, like, that stereotype of, like, it's like the book says the curtain was blue.
Yes, and then they're like, the teacher's like, it was blue because it was sad. You have to know that.
Exactly.
Like, the curtain represents something, which is kind of, it does get ridiculous, but I do, because I also write on my own, so I do love it a lot. And I went to both middle school and part of my high school was at, like, fine arts schools.
Oh, okay.
Like, specialty schools, and I went for creative writing.
Oh, so you kind of got the history there. Okay.
From childhood, I've just been in it.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. What kind of stuff do you write?
Mostly poetry.
Oh.
I think it's a really good creative outlet to have. It doesn't require a lot of effort. You can go back and rework things, so I like that a lot. I used to write a lot of short stories. Haven't had a lot of time for that recently, but I want to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've thought about writing poetry.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. Where do you, like, how do you even know what to write, And
it's hard. You really have to pull it deep out of you. I think it's easy to sort of start off with a narrative concept. So, like, I'll say, I need to talk about when this happened.
Okay.
And I'll start writing it, and then from there be like, oh, well, this is kind of like this, and get into, metaphors and figurative language and things
okay.
like that as a way to describe my experiences and my feelings. But I definitely couldn't just sit down and be like, I'm writing a poem about this object, and then just write a poem. Like, I wouldn't know what to say, you know?
That's that's crazy. I never thought about it like that. Like,
yeah.
the process, is it a lot of metaphors that you find yourself writing in poems, or is it kind of like, can it be straightforward ever?
It can absolutely be straightforward. I have some poems that are very straightforward. I do like metaphor though, but
that seems like it would be fun.
It is fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very creative. Last night I my roommate and a future roommate were getting an apartment over the summer.
Wow.
And I all just sat down and we were like, what if we just read our poetry to each other? Like, what if we just
That's
did
a bonding experience.
Oh, it was a bonding experience. We were crying. We were like being vulnerable.
Wow.
So we did that. And then afterwards I was like, I have to write about this. And I sat down. I did not know that I could do this. I cranked out 93 lines.
Dang.
In like
93.
one sitting.
So,
yeah.
Okay, 93 lines. What kind of poem is that? Is there like a structure to that, or just kind of how you feel?
It is free verse, which means that like I choose sort of how it looks. So there's not different like stanzas and like blocks and you know, line like syllable counts or anything like that. It's more just how I feel. But for shorter poems, I feel like it's easier to keep to a structure. I could never do that with such a long poem.
Oh, so the structure kind of helps you.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking like, if I had to write a poem, it would probably either be just like an ABA rhyme scheme poem or like a haiku, you know?
No,
like,
definitely. Learning about structure is really helpful because then you're like, okay, I feel like this structure would be good to talk about this. And you sort of have like that template. And so then you can go into it and you can play around with it, but know sort of like what you're getting into, you know?
Wow. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think I never really thought about it like that. In my head, like, I feel like for poets, you know, it seems like that's kind of like a boundary breaking type art form, you know? And to me, when I was learning poetry in school, it was weird how there's so many like rules.
Yeah.
But you describing it like that, it kind of makes sense. Like it helps you kind of rein in what you're trying to say.
Yeah. And what my writing teachers would always say is that like you have to know the rules so that you know how to break them well.
Oh.
So that like, because if you don't know structure and you just sit down to write, you're not even going to know what you want to do.
Yeah.
But if you know the structure and you go into it saying, okay, well, I can take this aspect of it. I can have it mostly be this, but change that. Then when you break the rules, you'll be more confident in knowing how to say what you want to say.
That makes sense. Like, it's like just whatever works for you. Okay, cool. So I want to get, I know we keep talking about your major, but like this is so interesting to me because like everyone around me is kind of like art majors.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, hey Deja. Everyone, my girlfriend Deja just showed up. She told me she wasn't going to be here, but surprise, here she is.
Hi Deja, I'm
she's
Beth.
This is Beth Woodring, our guest. She's our photographer.
Very
That's where I got all my beautiful Instagram photos from. But also, is those my sweatpants? All right. Well, anyway, so you're the secondary education thing. So that's like, do they teach you like what it's like to operate in a classroom?
So they will. I only just switched over to doing the concurrent degrees. Originally, I was just going to do an English major.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, if I don't want to be a professor, then I really, like, I have to have a degree in education. And so it starts off with, like, okay, you need to know about these subjects. And then it'll go more into, like, this is how, like, the brains of children work. Like, this is how you need to interact with children.
Wow.
And then at the end, they have what they call clinicals.
Oh,
so
okay.
for a year and a half, I'm going to be paying Wayne State so that I can go teach in Detroit Public Schools.
Dang, you're paying them to do that?
I know, but I mean, I get it.
It seems like community service or something, you know?
Exactly. It should be free.
Yeah, that is so weird. Wow.
Yeah,
but
but
that just makes me think, like, I had when I was in middle school, I had a Spanish class then, and there was like a teacher like that, right? Since she was probably paying to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know what? I liked her better than the actual teacher of the class.
Yeah, and they'll also, so they'll have the clinicals where you just go and teach on your own, and then they also have like basically shadowing, where you'll spend, X amount of time just going into a classroom and watching and like kind of interacting with kids, but only for a few hours, and then you go,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very crazy. I have a lot of respect for teachers, like, especially, for the ones in like public school.
It's rough.
Yeah. I went to Romulus High School as a public school, and man, I feel bad for some of those teachers. Like, even now, they're still struggling, and
Oh, yeah.
it makes me think, like, did I do anything bad to them? You know, when I went there, it's hard. It's easy to have like teacher remorse. You know.
Where I grew up, the teachers were so disenfranchised, and so they got so mean. And for a long time, I was like, I never want to be a teacher because I've hated all my teachers. But moving here, I had some really good ones. And, you know, you grow up and you sort of realize, like, it pays nothing.
Yeah.
The working conditions are horrible. Like, if you teach, it is because you want to teach and you love teaching because there's nothing else in it. You know?
I know. It sucks. Like, the stereotype being like of teachers not making enough money is so crazy.
It is.
But I mean, I guess hopefully that'll change soon.
Absolutely.
But so you mentioned, this is a good segue. I love a good segue. So you mentioned about where you grew up. So where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
I lived there until a year ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
What made you come here? Of all places. It seems so nice down there. Well, I mean, I guess I've never been to Jacksonville, but I do like Florida.
Florida is wonderful. Jacksonville is not so wonderful. But my dad works for Quicken Loans now.
Okay.
He used to work for a different company back in Florida, and he got this job offer for Quicken Loans, and he was like, I can't pass it up.
Yeah.
So we all just packed our stuff, but...
You guys all bought winter coats and everything? Came over here with your snowshoes?
Oh, you know. It was my first time ever seeing snow last winter.
What was that like?
And it's miserable. That's what it's like.
I know. You know, they always like to play it up as like, you see YouTube videos like, oh, people from this country see snow, and it's like, oh my God, it's amazing. But then you have to walk to work in the snow like 10 inches.
And it's beautiful. The first time I saw it, I actually almost cried.
Wow.
Because I was like, that's gorgeous. But scraping it off my car.
It gets
that's
old really
that's
quick.
what broke me.
Yeah. You're standing out there just like, I want this to be over. It weighs like 30 pounds.
And it's
scraping.
just dark out all the time.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like, it's just sad looking outside, man. I know once I learned about like seasonal depression due to like the winter.
That changed my life. I did not really, like, I knew that seasonal depression existed when I lived in Florida, but we don't have seasons.
Yeah, it's
so
just
I was
like hot all the time.
Like, allegedly it exists. I was so depressed last winter. I was so miserable. I had to go buy one of those like UV lights that you like put on your desk that shines directly into your eyes because it's just I can't live without the sun.
It's like brute force sun.
Yeah, I
crazy.
need it.
Yeah, I know. I used to think that I liked the cold, but it's almost like the older I get, I just hate it.
Same.
You know? It's just inconvenient.
Yeah, when I first moved here, I was like, I'm so excited to be in the cold. Like, I love the cold. I love the cold. I went down to Jacksonville over the summer for my birthday, and I was like, it's so nice. It's so hot. It's 105 degrees. That's perfect. That's where I thrive. Nice. It feels like a hug. Blah, blah, blah. Like, something switched.
Yeah.
Like a switch flipped.
Okay, I have an interesting question.
Okay.
Has your style improved or gotten worse since you had to move to a colder area? Because to be honest, I feel like I like this sweater, man, and I can't wear this in 105-degree weather.
So here's the thing. Well, first of all, 105-degree weather, it does have its plus sides because then you can get away with putting less thought into an outfit.
That makes sense.
And over the winter, my style is horrible.
Yeah?
I will wear the same pair of pants, the same sweater, the same coat every single day.
Wow.
But during the fall, I peak.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, sometimes I give up on dressing nice when it's like winter because it's like I'm just wearing my coat, you know, 24/7.
I'm gonna put a coat over it.
Not like you can really, I can't flex like that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I was thinking about moving to like a warmer area, I was like, what am I gonna wear? Yeah. But you know, I feel like you could just like not like for me, I could just walk around in like swim trunks, you know.
The thing about so like what it feels like outside right now is what it feels like in Jacksonville in December.
Oh.
So,
dude.
Yeah,
that would be sweet, man.
It's kind of nice. So I would, if I had sweaters, which I didn't really, but I would wear sweaters like then and then never have to like I didn't own a coat or anything. Like you don't need one. You have like two jackets. Oh, there goes
just
your
knocked
mic.
my microphone.
You have like two jackets.
Wow.
You don't need coats or anything. So winter down there was good for my fashion.
Man.
Fall up here is good for my fashion.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. Well, it's a trade-off then.
Yeah. You
Wow.
win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Man, Florida. Did you ever see like an alligator in your backyard or something?
Oh, totally.
Nice.
That's
dude.
the thing.
I love alligators.
Yeah, no, they're everywhere. They had, I think it was included in a code red, maybe it was a code yellow, but at schools down there, when an alligator broke onto campus, because they can climb chain link fences.
Yeah, yeah.
When an alligator breaks onto campus, that's like you have to go on lockdown until they can get it out. And you just
Wow.
see them all the time, but they won't
That's pretty awesome.
come up and attack you unless you bother them.
Yeah,
But
that
and I've
makes sense.
eaten alligator too.
Wow.
And it's good.
I feel like it's like white meat, right?
It is. It's white
Okay.
meat. It tastes kind of like chicken. It's a little gamier. It's
Yeah.
kind of chewier.
I
So
think I've had
wouldn't.
alligator beef jerky before, which
Yeah.
beef jerky alligator doesn't make any sense, but you get it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Like, okay, what's the food like up here compared to down there? Is it better or worse? Because I know we got Coney Island
You do
everywhere.
have Coney Island, and we did not have Coney Island.
Wow.
I would say it's worse.
Really?
I would say it's worse. That's one thing that I miss about Jacksonville is the food. I miss
Wow.
I miss Indian food
Mm-hmm.
more than anything.
Yeah.
I miss
We've got like Mediterranean food everywhere.
but I
around
don't really like Mediterranean food.
here. You don't like shawarma?
Not really. Not
Dang.
really. I'm not a fan. And then I miss sushi that doesn't cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Like there was a place right near where I lived that like you could get sushi so cheap and it
Mhm.
was good. And I feel like every time that I find a sushi place up here it's $1 billion.
Yeah, it's I feel like Detroit is trying to become like New York.
Oh,
you know?
it's getting so gentrified.
Yeah,
It wants
it's
to be so
rough,
hip.
dude. It's like, oh yeah, sushi. The only place to eat sushi in 100 miles. It's at $300,
Exactly.
for a meal. You know.
Yeah. And I did miss Chick-fil-A for a long time, but then I found out that there's one less than a mile from here in the hospital.
Yep.
So I will drive to the hospital. I will park in that hospital parking, and I have gone and gotten
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A
it's
from
worth
that.
it. You know,
Because I miss it.
I honestly I haven't had it enough to miss it, but at the same time I want to eat it more.
So
'cause-
here's my issue is that I used to work there.
Oh.
And so I ate it every day for like a minute.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, and
Every
now
day.
because you have to. Because you get 30% off, and then you're like, well, I don't. They
Ooh.
pay me minimum wage, so I don't
Yeah.
have enough money to go
To go
eat something
shopping,
else.
yeah.
And the minimum wage in Florida is like $8.
Dang, wow.
So so I was like, well, I guess I'm eating Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's good, you know.
Yeah.
That secret sauce is the bomb, dude.
Oh, it hits different.
Yeah, dude.
It hits so different. The Polynesian one,
I haven't tried it.
it will change your life. Genuinely, it's like sweet
I
and
believe
sour.
it. I've only had one Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich my whole life,
Yeah?
and it was amazing.
Oh, it's
it was,
so good.
And it was free too. That was the best part.
That is the best part.
Yep.
And then I used to get chicken nuggets. Oh, big secret.
All right.
I'm letting y'all in on something.
okay, this
I'm
is
putting
an
you on.
exclusive.
When you get your fries from Chick-fil-A,
Mhm.
say that you want them well done.
Well
Because they
done
are
fries.
never crispy enough unless you say
Oh,
well done. And then they put them in the fryer for like 15 extra seconds, and it's just different.
Okay.
And they're crunchy.
well done fries
Well
at
done
Chick-fil-A.
fries.
Dude. Wow.
You can also get a chocolate shake and say, can you put the Oreo in there? And it's so much better than just a normal Oreo shake.
That's funny, dude. That's such a okay. The Oreo you give me, put it in the shake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you get big bags of Oreo crumbs, like industrial sized bags. So you just
Oh.
pour it in the chocolate shake.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts. What? Like, do you have a job here now?
I actually don't right now. I used to work at a Better Health, but that was before college. I also over the summer interned at Quicken Loans, and so then I think that I'm going to intern there again this summer,
Oh,
but
okay.
currently unemployed.
Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. I trust me. If I couldn't have a job right now, I wouldn't. But you know.
And I'm so overwhelmed. First semester, I'm like, I don't have like
yeah.
the
So
mental.
you said you were a freshman.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm a junior technically. Well, I guess like I don't know, senior, junior. Like on Degree Works, it says I'm a junior. Technically, it's my last year. Whatever. But that's so like okay. So you came here straight out of high school.
Yeah.
Man, okay. I have like a unique thing where me and Deja both actually we went to this early college program. So like my last 2 years of high school, I was going to college also.
Yeah.
And I did one extra year out of high school at college. And so like once I came to here, I was like, oh, this is kind of just like exactly what I did at community college. But I feel like for me, if I had gone from high school straight, because like my first experience in a college class while I was in high school, I was like, this sucks. Like it's so hard. The professors are so different from high school teachers. It's insane. Like, is that kind of what experience you've had?
Oh, definitely.
Wow.
I love my English classes very dearly. I'm in 2 of them right now. but it's so much.
Yeah.
It's so much. But, and, neither of my parents graduated college.
Oh, wow.
My older
Are you
cousin.
first generation?
The generation before my parents, there's like one of my granddads has a PhD.
Oh,
None of
okay.
the others have college degrees. Neither of my
Wow.
parents, and my older cousin, who's the only like kid in my
Yeah.
generation older than me, also dropped out.
Wow. So the bar's pretty high. It's you and a guy with a PhD.
Yeah. Just us against the world.
Well, good
I
luck,
said I'm
man.
a trailblazer.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Look at that. We got how many hot takes? First female,
First
PhD
female.
compared,
Yeah.
and well done Chick-fil-A
And well
fries.
done Chick-fil-A fries.
Yeah, we're on
Don't get it
another level.
twisted.
All right, so we'll get into some of the music you brought now.
Absolutely.
So we've got Love Song by The Cure and Fleetwood Mac. The song is Dreams. So everybody, thank you for listening. We're going to kick to some music really quick, and we'll be right back after that. This has been, excuse me, I don't even remember my own show name. It's Wayne State Wack Pack on WAYN Radio. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're back from hearing this wonderful music, curated us by Miss Beth here. Thank you for that, by the way.
Of course.
So, yeah, like I said, when the music was playing, this Love Song by The Cure, I actually have heard that song before. And it's good. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, I don't know, like chill, kind of, I don't know. How would you,
Definitely.
yeah,
It's a
I love
very,
music like that.
Yeah, low key.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to describe
Mhm.
it. So yeah, what are you a big fan of The Cure? Is that like, you know, one of your go-to bands?
I am. I haven't listened to as much of The Cure as I want, but my parents listened to them a lot when I was growing up, and I do love them so much.
Yeah.
Really good, like, older British alt-rock band.
Okay.
Mostly, like, probably, like, the entire 80s. I just think that they're so wonderful. And, you know, Robert Smith, the lead singer, he has a great voice. So.
Yeah. That's great, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not man.
It's
That's
okay.
something about
I'll go
dude.
by man.
I say man. I call everybody man.
I call
sadly.
everyone dude.
There you
Yeah.
go. We're even. Okay, so sadly, we are running out of time here. I
Oh.
know, right? It goes by so fast. So I always want to ask this last question for everybody. If you could send out one message to everyone on campus or everyone listening, what would it be?
I would say that everything works out the way that it needs to. It's really easy, I think, to get wrapped up in stressing out about, you know, day-to-day decisions. But I think for the most part, things are going to shake out the way that they shake out. And, you know, just remember that you're only along for the ride.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much for that, really. This has been an awesome episode. Definitely trailblazing, like you said. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone for listening. This has been the Wayne State Wack Pack on WAYN Radio. I'm your host, Tommy McCoy, and we'll be back next week, same time, same place, 6 to 6:30 on WAYN Radio. Have I said that enough? And thank you all for listening, and bye-bye.